Alright, so hi guys. So, I need to emphasize this for the people who clicked on this video, because there's no way for me to title it the proper way without it being extremely long, and I hate to say it, but that stupid bot doesn't like extremely long titles. So, before I get into my normal little shill and go into the topic of this video is mostly geared toward commission and merchandise selling artists. And so by that, I mean the artists that, make and sell their own merch, do it online, own Etsy stores, that kind of thing. You don't really have to worry about, like, other purpose things. I'm going to go on later in the video. If you aren't that and you want to click off, that's fine. But if you are and you want to know about it, then please stay tuned. And if you just like listening to my beautiful voice that so many people think is beautiful and like listening to while you work, that's fine too. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, because YouTube is dumb when I have to say it at the beginning now. Yeah, and there's a ding. Great for that. Great. Gotta mute my phone. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. So, this is something I've been talking about with my art friends. Oh, we talk about it all the time. And I got to thinking, I'm like, it's one of those things again, where we're talking about it all the time, and I'm not seeing other people talking about it online, because they're talking more about, people and drama over, like, actual issues that are going on right now, and I think that's kind of important. So, while this one is more geared toward artists specifically, it's also geared towards craftsmen, people like that. Pretty much any kind of person who's doing a self-run business that you are self-funding to help make more money. As the saying goes, you need to have money to make money, kind of stuff. So, when an artist goes out and they ask people, hey, should I do X and Y thing? Should I get X and Y thing? I have been screwed over by so many people who, by the way, I know it's not done with ill intent. I know it's done to be sweet and supportive. And I know it's to be done in the, like, well, if I had money, I would. But so many artists have been screwed over by this mentality of, we'd rather be told a flat-out no, that you can't afford it, than people being under the mindset of, and I've made this mistake. I have completely made this mistake in the past, where if an artist I love is making a product that I would love to get, but I don't have the money. And I know that in the foreseeable future, I'm not going to have said money to get said thing. Foreseeable future, I usually mean within 6 months to a year. That's what I mean. Not like someday. That's how I gauge it personally. Then I put no, because I've been screwed over by that, by people with good intentions. And it is like probably the worst mistake a following or fandom can do to an artist in the long run. Now, obviously, this is more geared toward, like, smaller creators. I mean, people more my size. Usually if you're around the 100K section, you're usually doing okay. If you have, like, multiple thousands of followers on different social medias, and by that I mean, like, in the 10K plus, usually you're okay. So it's a little different. This is for the middle ground guy, the lower guy. Now, it comes out to where we'll have an idea for something, or people will constantly ask, like, oh, can you do this thing on your commissions? Oh, can you start doing this? Oh, I would love it if you made X and Y thing. And sometimes we would love to make X and Y thing. So we're like, oh, that'd be really fun, but I'm putting my own money into it to try to make money for it. And then you end up getting screwed over. A perfect example, and I'm using me as the example here, is my friends and I, about a year ago, had a D&D live stream show that didn't really go anywhere. But we had a decent, like, mini following going on. We would get at least a couple hundred views a video, things like that. And we all wanted to make merch because we actually thought it was going to go somewhere. It ended up not happening. Not because of this, but because just schedules didn't add up. And we sadly weren't making any money from it, so we didn't really have much incentive to go past that, because we're all adults and we have jobs and we have bills to pay. But I really wanted to make merch, and so did a couple of my friends. And so I ended up making a sticker pack, and I opened up for pre-orders for that sticker pack because a lot of the people seemed interested, like a lot of people. And so I got enough sticker orders to fund the sticker pack, but so many people were interested and said they wanted them that I ended up using literally all of the pre-order money to get a giant stack of these stickers made. After the pre-orders went out, not a single person bought a sticker, and they haven't bought one since. Now, I'm literally stuck with this really niche set of stickers that realistically probably no one's going to buy. And because I thought more people wanted to buy them, I literally made no money. I made no money off of this. I had to put my own money just to ship the pre-orders out, which granted wasn't a lot, and stickers aren't a lot of money, but it's one of those, like, it's one of those things that now when I look at it, I'm just remembering, yeah, I made no money off of that, and now I have these stickers. Now, granted, I know people are like, well, you can put it in grab bags, you can do stuff like that. You're right, but with how my business is and how small my store is, I haven't even been able to open up my Etsy this year because of things like this. It happened again where I had pre-orders because there was a lot of interest. I had pre-orders up for some Fire Emblem charms that I was really proud of. And once the pre-orders were met and I bought them and I made maybe $5 profit after mailing them out, I'm now stuck with these giant charms that were up for almost a year, and again, no one else bought. Now you might be like, wow, you sure sound salty. This isn't just me. This is a lot of artists that go through this kind of thing. It's something that happens. Now, if you do a lot of conventions, if you do a lot of things that we can't really do now because of Sick Spiky Round Boy, usually it's not so bad. Usually it's like, well, I'll put them on discount at a con, and people will usually buy them. Or if I throw them in a grab bag, people will usually buy them. It's that kind of thing. You can, in turn, sell them, but it's one of those things where our audience said, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. We did it. Crickets. Crickets. It's just as bad as when, as a commission artist, you know, someone will contact you, and I know this happens a lot because I hear people talk about it all the time, and it's really irritating, and it is. They'll contact you, they'll be all interested, they'll fill everything out, they get the price, and they just ghost. It's so much more rude to just, after you get the price, leave. Or when we're like, okay, I need your email for the invoice, just nothing. Just crickets, nothing. And I've heard people try to justify it like, well, I don't want to feel bad that I can't afford it. Then just say that. Be honest. Be like, oh, I'm sorry, this was out of my budget. Oh, I can't afford this right now. Trust me, more artists are going to be more grateful and happy that you were just honest than just the, okay, my price has scared someone away again. That's great. Because then it puts it hurts us. It really does. It hurts our feelings. And it's the same thing with the merch thing. I've had it happen to friends, I've had it happen to family, and I've had it happen to other business partners that I've like been in contact with, where people will come out and they'll like make polls and they'll do this and it'll get really, really high, and then when they make it, crickets. Crickets. And I know people are trying to be like, well, I would love to get one if I had the money. When we are asking these questions, it is, can you get it? It's that easy. And we're not being mean. We're not being hurt. It's better for so many artists to know that in advance than to make the mistakes I did, to make the mistakes other people did. It's why I'm seeing so many other people now do pre-orders where the pre-order limit is so high just to get said thing. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I've definitely noticed it from artists I follow, where they don't ask questions anymore. They don't do that anymore. They literally open specifically for merch. They open up pre-orders. If the pre-orders don't hit, they refund the couple people who did it, and they don't waste the money getting that merch made. Because if you're not a merch artist and you don't do your own thing, and you know, you're like most people where you don't have a laser engraver and a printer to literally do it all from home, you usually have to outsource. And the best way to outsource to save money is to get stuff in bulk. That's how it is everywhere. It is always cheaper to get more of one thing than another. That's just how it is. And I know some people argue like, oh, well, I know this website on Alibaba that lets you pick the limit you want. It's like, yes, that's true, but you're still spending more than if you were buying it more in bulk, which is something you usually have to do. And normally I would say if you have a big following, a big thing and this big and that, then yeah, go for it. You know, put the money aside for it. But you might be like me where you're just sitting on merch that at this point is so outdated that it's kind of like I can't even really feel comfortable selling it at the price they were at. So I'm just taking the loss. And that's something that a lot of artists are having to go through right now. Same with commissions. People will be like, oh, I would love if you have commission options of that. I would love that. And they do it, and then crickets. And then we feel irritated because we're like, why did we even offer this? No one's getting them. No, like, what was the point? You know, I had it happen to a friend where tons of people were messaging them and being like, oh, could you change to this format for commissions? It's so much easier and do this. They did it. Crickets. Crickets. I had another friend who tried doing pre-orders for some charms. And because people were like, yeah, make it. So they took the time. They made all the art. They did everything for it. They got it ready. They were like, okay, pre-orders are finally open. Crickets. Crickets. Or people being like, oh, I don't have the money, but I totally would if I could. That's very sweet and very thoughtful. But realistically, we would rather especially when we're like spitballing ideas for things, we would rather know flat out, are you interested and can you buy this? Then I would love to buy it, but I don't have the money for it. Because then that saves us time and money on something that realistically probably isn't going to sell right away. And I know that's a very, like, consumerist way to think. But when you're running your own business, that's the stuff you have to look towards. And I'm saying this out of spot of honesty. It's better just to be honest. Just say, don't have the money. I can't afford your prices. I can't do that. Obviously, be polite about it. Don't be like, this is too high. Or, you know, if I wasn't a broke bitch, then I totally would. Like, that's nothing. Like, don't, like, downgrade yourself either. Those always make people uncomfortable. It actually, like, kind of makes me a little upset when I hear people be like, if I would love to commission you, but then I'd have to go without eating for a month, which has happened to me. And I'm like, don't like that. Don't like that. Art is a luxury. Merch is a luxury. It's a luxury item. But when we are self-published and we are funded and we are trying to invest into our businesses to make a living, it's better to know right away honest answers. So when you see those polls of people are like, should I do this or this? Be honest if you can afford that within like a year's time. Not sometime, a year's time. It's so much nicer. It's going to help so many artists out there. And obviously, this is for, again, the self-funded people. Like, I use Redbubble for my prints right now because I don't own a printer, so I can't do it on demand. You know, when I own a printer, I could probably do it a lot easier and do it from my own shop. But I don't. So my only option is to buy prints in bulk. And I'd rather not buy prints in bulk just to prep for a store, for realistically the prints might never sell. Because that happened like twice when I ever tried selling prints on my Etsy. Which is why I'm like, yeah, my prints and stuff like that are on my Redbubble. Merch is on my Redbubble. When I eventually put more money into it and I have financial stability enough to warrant buying some stuff in bulk and getting pre-orders up on my Etsy, I'll bring my Etsy back. Until that time, I can't really do that. And that's how a lot of artists are. So that's why you're seeing more artists do Kickstarters, do pre-orders. They're doing more of those now because of instances like this, where we invested our own money into things that we thought people wanted and we got crickets. And you're not being rude. You're not being mean if you're polite and just simply answering honestly. Wanting something and being able to afford it when you're trying to be self-funded is two completely different things. And we won't be mad at you for being honest. That's why we're asking. We want you to be honest to people like us. So, I hope that helps. Hopefully this ramble helped a little couple people or helped people realize something. So again, I know it's not done out of a place of bad intent, but we would rather just be honest and nice about it. That's all. So, thank you as always to my patrons. Without you guys, you wouldn't be able to let me keep the lights on. I love you so much. And as always, I will. See you next time. Bye-bye.